Hello guys, Wahoo here, back in another video, this time around guiding you through the profession Mysterium. In this video we are going to cover every single bracket from 0 to 50 to 50 to 100 and so forth, all the way to 200. If this profession in the future is going to go beyond 200, there is also going to be videos in the description covering that to whatever it's going to be, maybe 300. But right now we only have it to 200, but it will be, I will be making videos when that comes out. Also in the description, we are also linking to how you are going to approach this profession in the best manner. I also want to mention there is a written guide in the description as well, linked down there, so go check the written guide as well. And also how you are going to obtain wild mana, which is the essential resource for this here new profession. So with that said, you basically cover everything there is going to go in this video. We are going to start out how you are going to obtain these two crafting tables for the profession, and also how you are going to start out. So that's going to be the first segment, and then we are going to go into different other brackets with timestamps, of course, also in the description if you want to go to a specific one. But we are going to start out with getting the benches, which is going to come up right now. Alright guys, we are now in the hub, and this is where you are going to start out with this profession. You can see we have the big sun goddess statue right behind us, and you are going to find the place of the NPC and also the benches. You are going to find it right over here. If you jump over here in this little hole here where also the fishing is. This is where they have set up camp, the NPC, and also you can actually use these crafting tables if you don't want to buy them yourself. But how you are going to obtain these benches is that you just talk to this NPC right here, and as you can see, you can buy them right here, and then you can put them in your club worlds as you saw in the intro. But you can also put them in your cornerstone if you choose to do so. This is also where you get your wild mana, the starting place, and then you basically also get your mana maxers. These are the things you basically want to look out for. But if you don't choose to get the crafting benches right here, you can actually go right over here and use these two ones. As you can see here, they are exactly the same as the ones we had in the club world. So that is how you're going to obtain your crafting benches. No crafting, just buying in from this one, or maybe somebody already, as you have in our community club, we already have them there, so you can be welcome to use them there as well, or just again go to the hub and use them right there. So that was the crafting benches. Now we're gonna move on to the first bracket. All right, in the first bracket here, we are just going to use, and I think I'm gonna use it for the rest of the video as well, we are going to use the crafting table in the hub. So we are gonna use it right here, and the first bracket is open at level 1, so you have access to this at the start. And here you want to use any of the adventure buffs you get. So these are the 3 adventure buffs. These rotate every single week. So if it doesn't look the same right here for you when it does for me right now, it's because you're doing it in the future. But 3 different biomes are going to be available every single week, so they are going to rotate. Some of them are going to be the same maybe, but they're always going to rotate, so it doesn't matter which one of these you do take. So in the description it says you can use Robotic, Salvage, or Enchanted wood, or wild cupcakes. That's of course because there is going to be a cost with the wild mana, as we talked about before, but there's also going to be a cost for the specific biome. So of course Candoria is going to be wild cupcakes. For the jungle one, it's going to be meteorites, and for Neon City biome right now, it's going to be Robotic Salvage. It might be something different in the other time you are going to do it, but it seems to always be 10 you are going to use. So using about 5,000 to get from level 1 to level 50 of each of these ones, and you can also mix and match in whatever you want to. A little tip here is that you could go on the marketplace and see which ones is most valuable and go for these one. There is also these 2 here buffs here. You can also go for those, of course, but as you can see, they're a little bit more pricey. They are a little bit more pricey, but also much more pricey on the wild mana. But these are always going to be the same right here, so you can always have access to these, but there's always going to be 3 here. So again, the most efficient is to just go with these biomes here, and you can go and make yourself 50 of these. So 5,000 wild Trovian mana, and then 500 of the each Robotic Salvage, or the meteorites, or of course the cupcakes, whatever is in there. So you can just look up what you have most of, or what is the less pricey on the marketplace right now. I think it's wild cupcakes are pretty pricey right now, but they go up and down in price. Meteorites was also very pricey, but they have gone down in price a little bit. But it's gonna always change, so just look whatever you feel like you want to go with when you are going to do this. And maybe you're gonna do a little bit over time, and even then doesn't really matter which one you use, and you can again, what you feel like you can also farm the best. So that was the bracket from 1 or 0 to 50. Let's move on to the next bracket. Alright, for bracket number 2, that is from 50 to 100. So we go back into the crafting table, and that is right here. You can get any of these buffs if you want to. They are very changed. These are only 30, for example, but they are 6,000 mana. So I would suggest you go with the Vampiric Grace, because that is going to be the one that has the least of the wild mana, and this is not a tradable currency. The other one too is, so it is a little pricey on the Somber Souls. Somber Souls can be very pricey, and bones are not too bad, but the Somber Souls are definitely pricey, but it is only 750 wild mana. But if you really like to farm wild mana, well, this is probably the better for you. They're gonna give you 1 skill point every single time you craft either this, so it doesn't really matter. But this one is 6,000 wild mana, and you probably don't have as much in the limit. You know, you have your max in the beginning, so it's gonna be a little bit hard to go for this one. At 6,000 is just also a lot, but 750 is definitely doable. But again, it's a little bit pricey on the Somber Soul. So my suggestion is that you do the not the wild mana, of course, but the Vampiric Grace. That's what it's called. The Vampiric Grace. Do that. Of course, that's going to be 37,500 wild mana, 2,500 Bleached Bones, and then 500 Somber Souls as well. So it's a little pricey with the Somber Souls, but not definitely doable to go to from 50 to 100. So yeah, and of course these also you can do them on Tuesday and such. So that was the bracket from 50 to 100, and we can now move on to the next bracket. Alright, so next bracket is from 100 to 150, and we're gonna go into the crafting table once again, and we are gonna go under here. There's only 2 of them right here, so you can either go with the Aura Vision or the chocolate one, and I suggest you go with the chocolate one, because even though this one probably is a little bit better for as a buff, but it's 3,000 and also 50 Robotic Salvage, which is a little bit more pricey. The chocolate is only 2,000, and then 20, of course, wild cupcakes. Again, wild cupcakes is a little bit more pricey right now than Robotic Salvages, but I would just make 50 of these of the chocolate one instead, even though you might want to have this one more, but you should get one anyways, but you can check it out. But again, it's only 1,000 more wild mana, but that's really up to you. I think 1,000 is gonna ramp up, but if you do go with the chocolate one, which I recommend, it is gonna be still 100,000 wild mana, 1,000 wild cupcakes. So that's pretty simple, but 1,000 wild cupcakes and 100,000 wild mana. So again, this would be 150, probably 150. I haven't done the calculations on this one, of course, but at 150,000 wild mana is pretty crazy, and this will only be 100,000, which is still a lot. But yeah, 50 of these chocolate ones, and that's going to be the most efficient as well. But that was this bracket. Let's move on to the next bracket. Alright, so the last bracket is from 150 to 200. There is, of course, also buffs after 200, but we're only gonna cover until we get, of course, that 200, because that's what this guide is all about. So we go into our crafting table, and we are now here down under the 150, and there is Strength of Beast, and there's also Keen Mind. So Keen Mind is, of course, 3,000 for the wild mana. The other one is also 3,000, so it's really up to you what you want to go for. There's the fragments here, or there is the Primordial Flames. I went with the Keen Mind because this seems a little bit more easy to get. Again, there is a tome now you can get the fragments from, and they are still kind of hard to farm. And this one, of course, do stack with Tuesdays, and there's a lot of people that are farming these, and I think the price of these are a lot better than it is, and it doesn't really matter in the wild mana category. Here it's just going to be wild mana 3,000, and it's going to be 3,000 for wild mana here as well, so it doesn't really matter which one you go for. But if it really comes down to it, I would recommend you getting this one with the Keen Mind and getting 50 of these, and that's of course going to be 150,000 wild mana and 1,500 Primordial Flames. So now you should be at 200. So let's just take an outro here and kind of cover all of it for what you are going to get. So yeah, that was all the steps. Let's get into the outro. Alright, so now we covered everything there is with this profession. Again, you can go down to the description. There's a written one as well where you can cover everything there is with this here profession. So go down, check that one out. And the total cost is 292,500 wild mana. And if you buy it from this guy every single day, of course you also have to get your mana maxers, because you do need to get to that much. It's gonna take you 293 days to get 1,000 every single day from buying this one. Of course you can farm it, so you don't have to do that. But if you just, you know, go and do this every single day, that doesn't take very long. You are going to spend that much. But of course you're also gonna use 2,500 bleached bones, 500 somber souls, 1,000 wild cupcakes, 1,500 primordial flames, and then again it can vary in what it's gonna be. It's gonna be 500 robotic salvage, if it's gonna be enchanted wood, or for the cupcakes, of course, whatever biome is in that rotation, as we covered from the 0 to 50 bracket as well. So go check that out. Again, go check out the description to cover more on this profession, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!